Hey everyone, welcome to the Anarchy Podcast. 99% of traders will never make consistent profits, so why listen to the 99% of advice? On this show, we're going to challenge some of the most hallowed and repeated tenets of trading, and in doing so, set you up to succeed where others fail. Spoiler alert, we don't have a secret strategy or magic wand that will let you skip out on the hard work of learning the markets, but we can debunk viewpoints that are holding you back. If that sounds good to you, come join us.
Welcome to the Anarchy Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about leading measures, lagging measures. What are they? What do they do? I don't even know. But today Levi says that he's going to educate us on why he thinks this is a really important topic. And I've got to admit, I'm excited to hear about it. Levi, how's it going?
Hi, Jordan. It's going well. It's going well. I had bugged you about this to talk about this topic for a little while because this one hit home for me. I was listening to a podcast and I forget exactly who I was listening to. This might have been Chris McChesney. I was listening to a podcast and had heard this topic, and it kind of just really blew me away on how important this topic was. There was two things that we focus on that kind of help explain how we make goals and how we measure success. So there's two things: leading and lagging measures. Now, us in day trading are used to indicators and leading and lagging indicators, and the leading and lagging measures are very similar, but they're just how you measure instead of the market measuring.
I would just point out
goals.
that all indicators are really lagging indicators because they can only show you what happened in the past, but that's besides the point.
Well, that is true, but people still, there's still people claim there's leading measures.
AI, the new AI bot will tell you what will happen in. Anyways,
there's no true. You're right. There is no true in the market. I would argue there's no true leading indicators, but that's besides the point. But yes, thank you for pointing that out. So anyway, so what's the difference between a leading and lagging measure, and what are they? Okay, so when people are trying to make a goal, they typically measure success, but they measure success as a lagging measure. So what I mean by lagging measure is it follows naturally from the leading measure. Here's a good example. It's the new year and you make a resolution to lose weight, right? I want to lose 20 pounds. That's your goal. That's a lagging measure because that is a goal that you actually don't control. You actually don't control weight loss. What you control, the leading measure, is what you control. The lagging measure just follows naturally behind the leading measure. So the leading measure is
I'm following.
The leading measure is working out and eating healthy, right? So what people do is what we all naturally do is we make our goals based around the lagging measures, which is I want to lose 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Instead of making the goal around I want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Yes, the habits that will naturally lead to the outcome.
Yeah.
So instead of making your New Year's resolution, I want to lose 20 pounds, your New Year's resolution should be, I want to lower my calorie intake by 500 calories a day. Or I want to go to the gym. I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week for an hour. Or like those are the goals that you should be making, because those are the ones you can't control your weight loss. But what you can't, because you can't just try real hard and lose weight. But what you can do is do the small things every day that eventually, if you eat healthy and you go to the gym, you will lose weight, period. There's absolutely no question. You will lose weight if you eat less than what you're currently eating and you go to the gym. And the lagging measure will follow the leading measure. And this is the way that, and day traders fully understand this, because that's kind of how the indicators work, or at least how people say they work. There's things that lead and things that lag, and the things that lag are the ones are the big goals that we focus on, right? Those are the ones
Yep.
that we want. I want to lose
Yep.
weight. I want to make money on the market.
I want to be profitable. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But instead of focusing on those, focus on the goals that are leading up to it. So,
Yep.
how does this apply to day trading? I'm sure you can see how it applies, but we focus, you just already mentioned, hey, I want to be profitable. I want to make money.
Yeah. I mean, that's the goal of any day trader, right? Like you ask them, what are your goals?
Yeah.
And everyone's make money, dude.
Yeah, of course. And that's a good thing. Again, it's
Yeah.
it's really good to have that goal, but
Yeah, it's
that's
like
a
getting in shape.
goal.
Like it's a good goal to be able to want to bench, bench three, whatever you want to bench, 225, 350,
Mhm.
whatever you're aiming for.
Yeah, it's really good to have a goal. But when you're actually talking about the things you measure, the things you make as your daily goal, the things that you actually apply, those things need to be leading, right? Those things need to be the things that you can are both concise, that you can measure, right? Every day, you can't measure how much you weigh if you're trying to change your weight, right? You like uh, that you won't lose weight in a day, most likely. So it's really hard to measure, but you can measure, did I go to the gym today? Right? You can't control in the market whether you made money. There's going to be days, we mentioned this last podcast, there's going to be days when you lose money,
Yep.
right? So that can't be your goal. Your daily goal has to be, did I follow my rules? Was I disciplined?
Yep.
Um, did I trade only at the times I said I was going to do? Did
Yep.
I trade only the max number of trades I said I was going to do? Like the concise, the measurable things every day that if you do, you'll eventually make money. Just like if you go to the gym and you eat healthy, eventually you'll lose weight. If you follow your rules, if you learn discipline and you're patient, eventually you'll make money in the market. Hey everyone, Levi here to quickly ask if you're finding value in the podcast. We would love it if you'd take a moment to follow the show and leave a review. It helps us out a lot and enables us to bring you the best possible content. Thanks for being part of the community. I love you guys.
I think that's brilliant. And honestly, that's something that I think any beginner day trader should really have in the forefront of their mind. I mean, honestly, this is I would say one of the more important episodes to kind of an ideas to really be able to understand because when you're starting out, and as we've discussed in previous episodes, starting out means for your first 1,000 hours, so you're talking two years of 2 hours a day or something. um you're not going to be able to measure your success over those 2 years by profitability because you're not going to be making money for 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how during those two
Yeah.
years where you can't measure your success by monetary ways, how are you going to measure that? And I think you nailed it on the head. So practically, how could you go about that? Like again, I'm kind of thinking out of the box now, but as a trader, how could you practically stay motivated or track the progress that you're making? I have a couple ideas, but I wanted to ask you.
I think you make a good point in that how do you stay motivated? It
Hmm.
it actually this helps your motivation in a huge way, right? Because if you make the leading measures your goal, you can always hit that goal, right? So if you make the lagging measure your goal, I want to make money, well, there's going to be days you lose money. And now you're going to be down in the dumps because you just broke you lost your goal. But
Yeah.
if you make your goal, um did I follow all my, like, say you have a few rules, not too many of them because and not too complicated, right? But you have a few rules. Did I follow those rules today? Well, if you did, then that's a huge way to keep your motivation up. Even if you
Yeah.
lost money, hey, I followed my rules, right? This is, I'm going back to this well a lot, but it's a great example is getting healthy. If you make your goal losing weight, well, for the first few months that you eat healthy and go to the gym, you're not going to see any difference,
Nope. Yeah.
period. So it's really hard to stick with it. By the way, this is how you get really bad habits. If you make the lagging measure your goal, you get into really bad habits. This is why people go onto like crazy fad diets, because they made the weight loss the goal rather than the healthy habits. And so you
Yeah.
end up doing stupid stuff in the meantime because losing weight is the main goal. In day trading, the way this applies is if you make money your goal, now you start YOLOing. Now
Yep.
you start making bad risk habits. Now you start making a bunch of trades in a row, losing trades in a row. You start taking unnecessary risks because you made the goal making money, rather you made it the lag measure rather than one of the leading measures.
Yeah, so diving back into like from a practical standpoint, what you could do, like totally
Yeah,
agree with
I
you.
guess I never fully answered your question.
Yeah, yeah, no, but totally to say from my viewpoint, listen, it sounds a little bit trite, but get yourself like a make it yourself an Excel sheet or make yourself a little chart on the wall that you can say you can mark off. And for every day that you follow your rules, put a check mark on it, right? And when you complete
Hmm.
10 check marks in a row or something, then decide on a little reward you get. Like literally, like make it fun. Decide on a reward. Maybe you get to get yourself a treat, or you get to, go out and get something, or you get to buy a new pair of, new outfit or whatever it is. Like it doesn't matter. Just to find something small to do to celebrate your win. So throw that check mark on the wall, and every time you follow your rules, great, do it. You could also, a common thing, and my wife is actually doing it right now for studying. She's studying, Thai, and so she has a wall, a chart on the wall that's 1,000 hours of studying, right? And so every time she studies an hour, she fills in a circle. Well, print one of those off. There's a bunch on Pinterest, whatever. Print one of those off, but use it for your trading, right? 1,000 hours of trading. Every time you spend an hour trading, mark a circle off, and every time you've finished 20 hours or 10 hours or 100 hours of trading, like celebrate those wins. These are all things that you can be celebrating, and decide what you want to do. Just do something that's fun that you can actually celebrate your win to give you encouragement, because those are all tangible things. You can look on the wall and say, yeah, I've spent 100 hours trading. I've followed my rules for 20 days, whatever it may be. Those are going to be, that's going to keep you motivated, because you can see that on your wall and you can go, hey, look, I'm making progress. Even if you don't feel it, you can see it on the wall. And I think that's really important.
Mm, that's a big one. I think that's really helpful. That studies actually show that tracking, if you track your progress like that, the things are actually the small achievable goals as you go, it helps you. It greatly increases the chance of your success. So that's a huge one. I mean, if you're tracking again, like going back to the motivation, keeping that motivation up is huge, and tracking the little wins on the way to the eventual big win is a huge way to keep yourself motivated. So yeah, if you're track those leading measures, track the hours, right? Are you putting in the amount of time? Are you learning discipline? Are you following your rules? If you track those small measurable goals as you go, eventually you will hit that big goal. And that's something that's just crazy powerful in your journey toward being profitable.